This content was created purely for entertainment and informational purposes. The creators of this vlog do not endorse drinking and driving, debauchery, underage drinking, public intoxication, speeding, street racing or any other form of delinquency. I'm just a guy, with a drink, talking about cars. Please don't take this too seriously.
Welcome back to Cocktails and Crankshafts. It's your boy, the Killer Bee, the Fat Man, the Africanized Honeybee, the Car Guy Blog 05 at gmail.com, guy at 05car on Twitter, at 05car on Instagram, at 05car on Facebook. The word zero, Z-E-R-O, the number 5, fifth, the word car, C-A-R. With me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, May Flowers. What up, May?
What up?
Okay, so let's talk about Battle of the Imports. Battle of the Imports, or BOTI, was the centerpiece of my original YouTube channel. And what I mean is I had a single video from Battle of the Imports 2004 that was so popular that my channel was ready to monetize. So let's go back in history a little bit. I'm living in North Carolina. It is 2004. It's spring. Battle of the Imports is happening at Rockingham Drag Strip. I drive down, my boy drives up from Charlotte, meets me there, and we have ourselves a good old time until the skies opened up, because spring in North Carolina, it was a beautiful day, and then we had a cold, soaking monster rainstorm come through. It almost blew the stage over. It was horrible. After all that happened, then they had the bikini contest. The bikini show was filled with a number of girls. One girl's name was Felicia Tang, I think. Another girl's name was, I'm not going to get to her name yet. One girl's name was Katana, and then they had a couple of local girls. You know, there was a big-boned Caucasian woman from Charlotte or some southern regional part of North Carolina. And she wasn't fat, but she was thick.
Healthy.
I mean, she still looked good in the bikini, but she was a stout lady, because the girls she was on stage with were Asian ladies from California with surgical enhancements.
Typical model-like bodies.
Surgical enhancements, shall we say. Very small, very, very, two of them were tall and slender. One was not very tall and also slender. So they're on stage doing their thing, and, you know, crowds waving their hands, et cetera, et cetera. And our big stage sponsored by Bojangles is blowing all over the place. And so they come to do their dances, and Felicia comes out and she does her dance, and Katana comes out and does her dance. And what was that other girl's name? I can't remember her name to save my life, but she comes out and does her dance. And I'm not going to show y'all any of this footage. First of all, I'm not even sure I still have it. I think it's gone bye-bye, because those were all on 8mm tapes. So a young lady named Sonny Ong comes out. Sonny Ong is wearing a slingshot bikini. Well, it's not a bikini when it's a slingshot. It's a monokini. It's two straps. They go through her crotch and over her nipples and across her shoulders. I will never forget. She starts doing her sexy gyration dance, and we had a Dave Chappelle moment.
Part about that, I felt guilty, like I did that with my mind. Because the whole time she was dancing, I was like, come on, Teddy. Come on, Teddy.
Her left titty escaped from her little strap of fabric that she was wearing. Only she didn't know it. She just kept gyrating and dancing until one of the other girls came up and covered up her boob, at which point she turned beet red and turned her back and ran to the back of the stage.
Oh, no.
Now, this was all captured on video, to the point where there used to be a show on a channel, one of those cable channels, where they would do, you know, like Vacations Gone Wrong, or, you know, where it was like America's Funniest Home Videos, but for the basic cable set. They wanted to buy that video from me.
Oh, wow.
Only they couldn't, because I didn't have a model release. And so I put the video on YouTube, obviously edited, but on YouTube, and it got a gajillion hits. Actually, that's how that TV show found me, actually. It got a gajillion hits, right? And I was getting all set to monetize, but I couldn't monetize that video because, again, I didn't have a model release. And then some of my other videos on that channel, some of my autocross and racing videos, had copyrighted music. And, that was 2008, 9, 10.
Yeah,
maybe.
but that was like the Wild West of YouTube. So
That was the Wild West of YouTube.
Well,
I was starting to get things struck. A couple of my Metallica-based videos got struck, and they didn't get muted. They got takedown orders because, Metallica don't play. And so I elected to delete all that stuff and get rid of that channel. But I'm getting ahead of myself. 2005, back at Rockingham, still in the spring, Battle of the Imports. Okay. This year, spring in North Carolina, it's cold and windy all day. I get up and down the drag strip a couple times. I'm having a reasonably good time. We have the bikini contest. It is bad. So, as per usual, they brought a couple models with them with the tour, a couple of Asian ladies from the West Coast. And they looked the part and certainly were not shy while on stage. And then there was, I'm going to be careful with my words here. Let's say a very normal shaped young lady on stage.
Like a regular, smegula kind of girl versus
standard
magazine.
And when I
model
say
body.
regular, I mean like muffin pear, pale glasses.
Parts that are real versus parts that are bought.
Yeah, but I mean like real and not even real, like, because like you have your aerobics instructor reel, you have your MMA. Well, we won't say MMA because that was 2005. We'll say you had your aerobics instructor or your track sprinter kind of real body, or your basketball player real bodies. And then you had girl who eats at Cinnabon a lot and Taco Bell real body.
Wow.
And I don't know why she chose to do that or who dared her to do it or whatever, but predictably it did not go well. And the other models were nice to her, and the MC and the DJ did everything they could, but needless to say, there were some less than polite comments from the crowd, including I believe there was some actual boos. So
that's a bummer.
That's a bummer, but I mean, you don't see me entering any hot body contests. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just saying.
I know
somebody would like it.
Yes, that's true, but I'm not going to go on stage in a Speedo. I'm not Chris Farley. That's a cute sketch on Saturday Night Live. In real life, it don't work that way. You take your pasty, pale, 350-pound self on stage when women are looking for hot red meat and see what happens. It's not going to be pretty.
Well, that is true.
So, that didn't end well. It did not end well. And then 2006, I've now moved to Illinois, and I go to Battle of the Imports at Chicagoland Speedway in a cornfield just south of Joliet, Illinois. Or I guess that was Route 66 Dragway, next to Chicagoland Speedway, conveniently just south in a cornfield near Joliet, Illinois. I took what would become the buzzer. It wasn't the buzzer yet. It was still, at that point, it might have still been blue.
It was in process.
Yeah, Midnight Pearl, whatever that stupid, almost purple color was. Or it might have been primer. It definitely wasn't yellow, and it definitely didn't have the B on the hood yet. But I took it because it had an automatic transmission and fun doing burnouts. Unfortunately, there was nobody there to film my fun burnouts. So I just had to sort of enjoy them for myself. But I had fun doing burnouts. I did not do particularly well in the drag racing that day because I had never taken the automatic car down a drag strip before, and I had a little trouble mastering the repeatability. again, that whole automatic transmission thing. But I did have a good time. And then the very next weekend, that was in between 2 weekends that I had the Stinger out. So yeah, I had a good time that summer. That was fun. That particular event was but that particular June was a lot of fun. I have mostly fond memories of Battle of the Imports, primarily from Rockingham, because it was usually the first the first big event of the season. There might be a couple of local, import days, or bring what you brung, or run what you brung, or locally sponsored import events. But Battle of the Imports was usually the first big touring event at Rockingham, where you were going to get some serious show cars, some serious drag racing, and some half-naked chicks, because half-naked chicks. I was just today or yesterday actually conferring with a gentleman, one of those organizations I'm a member of, the old one.
Yeah.
So I was reaching out through our national message board saying, hey, does anybody else do the car thing? And I found a dude who used to drag race a front-wheel drive Honda. That would have been in that kind of, the West Coast guy would have been in that same kind of generation, time and space on the other coast. And he and I were trading some notes, and that was very interesting. Hopefully I can get him on the show at some point. But yeah, I Battle of the Imports wasn't Nopi. They didn't have the enormous traveling road show, but nobody else was Nopi. I mean, Nopi, by the time they launched the import drag racing stuff, Nopi had been doing car lifestyle shows for 12 or 15 years, from the days of when, a candy color Volkswagen with chrome wheels on it was the height of import culture, to the days when, 10-second front wheel drive drag raced Hondas were the thing, to the days where, drifting a 240 SX was the thing. Nopi had been there through all of that. So they knew how to do events.
Right. That's kind of what their thing was.
Right. That was really, at that point, that was more their thing than selling actual parts, which was, their original business was selling replacement parts for German imports. But yeah, I still have, I have good feelings about Battle of the Imports in general. And, especially since they were the key to the growth of my first YouTube channel that I got rid of, but still I had a good run, and those videos and pictures still bring me back a lot of good memories. And some of that video will be on here. That bikini malfunction won't, but a little bit of that stuff will be here, and it'll be there for everybody to see in the background. But I hope you enjoyed my content and these little trips down memory lane. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your girlfriend, tell your wife, but not at the same time.
That's a different podcast.
Out of bounds, sir. Out of bounds. Check me out on the social medias and on the Anchor app, where you can find Cocktails and Crankshafts as a podcast. On behalf of myself and the fabulous Mayflowers, we're going to bid you adieu. That's my French for the day.
Check it out. Look at you, German and French in one day.
That's right. I'm continental, baby.
Hey.
And we'll check you out again soon. Thanks.